Okay. In this hand, we're going to talk a little bit about calling 3 bets and even 4 betting. Uh, Limper in middle position, we've got Ace King 10-8 single suited. Isolate the limper, which I think is absolutely standard. We get 3 bet from the button, who's playing a 33-25, 3 betting 15% overall. Everyone else folds, and now the action's back to us. We have the option to fold, call, or 4 bet. So I think that folding, of course, is terrible, and I would never fold this against an opponent type like this. But I think it's more interesting to talk about whether to call or whether to 4 bet. This is a time when it's good to have some opponent reads. Good to keep tabs on if the opponent that you're up against is starting to pick on you a little bit. Perhaps you've been folding to a lot of 3 bets, or your preflop image is bad and he's starting to beat up on you a little bit. Against those kind of players who you have a read like that on, I think that 4 betting is actually okay. And I think that it's important, especially against regulars, to stand up a little bit and not let them kind of feast on you in these kind of situations, because otherwise the good regulars really will start to hammer on you if they know that you're going to just kind of back down every time they show a little bit of aggression, or you're going to play straightforwardly. Because I think that this situation where it's cut off first button is one of those spots where almost all regulars, like the level 1, level 2 regulars, like it's the most common spot that people start to get aggressive in, and you don't really want to let people beat up on you. You want to be able to take the cutoff and not worry about getting 3-bet light every time you've got a competent opponent on your left. Yurik, what do you think is best, and how would you approach like a situation like this?
I completely agree to everything you said, and I would like to have a specific reason for betting this. So all the reasons you mentioned are perfectly fine suited. Whenever you feel that there's some dynamic going on, that he's 3-betting you way too much, and you notice that he has shown some weak hands in 3-bet pots. All those reasons are pretty good to start 4-betting light on him, and good hands to do it are the hands like this one that we have that is blocking an ace and a king. Obviously, also other good hands are ace, king, king, and other hands with an ace in it, preferably double suited to hit more flops, be able to stack off more often, but even single suited is fine against a reasonable, too wide of a range that he is 3-betting you with. Depending a little bit, if you notice, if it changes a little bit that you isolated the limper, some players hesitate a little before 3-betting, still 3-betting light. Others are even 3-betting lighter. Yeah. But once like you said, it's important to just take a stand. Basically, here in our favor, place that we are around 120 big blinds deep to begin with, or even a little bit more, so we can comfortably 4-bet and then fold to a shove, unless we have a special dynamic with him going on that we know that he is stacking off lighter than with just aces pre-flop. But until we get to that point, it's perfectly fine to 4-bet and fold to a shove. This way, when we 4-bet, we get a lot of money in pre-flop, potentially dominating him. We can shove basically any flop unless, really, really nasty one for our hand. But I can't really think about a lot of flops, because even the low card boards that we don't hit, we can just shove, because he will have to fold often enough to make our c-bet profitable.
Right.
And whenever we have a pair or some kind of draw, we can just shove and expect him to fold sometimes. And for the times he calls, it's not a big deal. We may be in good shape, or we have outs to improve. So, even if we lose the hand and we get to he somehow hits the flop harder than we do, and he ends up winning the pot, then he sees that we are willing to 4-bet him light, and he may hesitate the next time he decides whether he wants to 3-bet us or not.
Right. Yeah. I think all of that stuff's pretty good.
Then
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Then because that's like one part that's pro 4-betting, but unless we have that special dynamic, or if the player is slightly tighter, let's say he's only three betting around 10 or 12%,
Uh-huh.
I think I would prefer a call here
Mm-hmm.
because we will like he's very likely to c-bet on all the ace high and king high boards. And then we can either check call or check shove depending on the board texture and our hands range.
Right.
So it's also good to have those hands, those ace king hands in our calling range pre-flop. So those also like isn't a bad idea. And since his range is overall slightly stronger, let's say he's only three betting 10%. That means that he will have aces more often or better ace king hands like ace king queen jack double suited type of hands that actually still crush us somehow. So we kind of take out a little bit the variance and the risk of running into a dominant hand, and still we're still able to win some board, a lot of pots post flop anyhow.
Right. Yeah, that's all very good. That was what I was actually just the last thing I was going to mention was it's nice having this type of hand in your three bet calling range because the boards that are good for you like always get c-bet. So like the ace high boards, the king high boards, and if it does come ace high and he does happen to have like an ace inside cards, you can get it in with like pretty good domination potential.
Yeah, I think that what's happening in this hand, right?
Yeah. So instead of four betting, we actually do just call. It comes ace 4-3 two tone. We check. He bets 80. We jam, essentially. And he folds. And I mean, there's just no reason to check call, for example. I don't see any reason to donk. In fact, I think that like donking would be pretty terrible. Just because I think it's a board that he misses like 100%, but it's also a board that he's c-betting practically 100%. So you want to make sure that you get the dead money from the c-bet. That's where the profit comes from.
Exactly.
Cool. Let's check out the next hand.
Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Casino Crime here. Now, if you like this video and you want more, then go ahead and click the subscribe button below right now. And if you want to join me for more of my 6 max success secrets and free video tutorials, just click the link to the right. See you inside the trainings. Good luck.